Hi guys, welcome in if you are a first-time viewer. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me. Please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. So let's get into today's message. We are just going to pull on the new moon, solar eclipse energy. Happy new moon in Libra. Happy birthday to the Libras, right? But the message that I got for today was basically the underworld comes alive, right? It's more so like the subconscious being brought to the conscious, dormant energy, right? Is what is being brought to the forefront, right? So if you think about Halloween in general, right, it's basically when, how can I put this into words in a way that's not so, I don't want to say like the dead becomes alive, but that's basically how I'm getting it. Like the subconscious becomes the conscious, right? Things that are dormant are becoming awake, right? Things that you were fearful of are being brought to your forefront, right? It's again, like I said, the underworld being brought to the forefront. The underworld comes alive, right? So let's pull on this energy to see what messages come out. What message do you have for the collective at this time regarding the energy surrounding the new moon in Libra? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time regarding the energy surrounding the new moon in Libra? We saw balance and we saw freedom, right? So definitely like duality energy, definitely something being, again, set free, something being brought to the forefront. Give me 3 cards. But that duality energy has been here for quite a while now. Look, balance came right back out. It's the ends, the endings and the beginnings, right? If you haven't seen yesterday's reading, please go watch it. There may be a message in there for you. It was just called what was it called? The October forecast. This feels like a continuation of that. I mean, usually the readings flow fluidly like that anyway, right? Energy is fluid. Two more. Acceptance. Look at the purple. And service. Right. So there's like a surrendering here. There's a surrendering to something, allowing something to just be, right? Accepting the things that you cannot change and being disciplined in the things that you can change, relationships, right? In the things that you have control over, in the things that you connect to, in the things that you consume, right? Again, if you have not seen the reading that I posted yesterday, please go watch it. There may be a message in there for you. But definitely your connection to things, the conversations that you indulge in, the foods that you eat, the habits that you create, right? The cycles that you exist in, the environments that you place yourself in, the type of television that you watch, right? the type of connections or that you indulge in, right, or that you invest in, the type of individuals that you connect and bond to, right? The type of choices and decisions that you make within your career, within, again, your habits, your cycles, all of the above, right? There's definitely a surrendering. There's an acknowledgement, right? There is a sense of discipline, accepting the things that you cannot change, right? And being more disciplined within the things that you do have control over, right? Taking a more purposeful approach, right? Taking a more intentional approach towards the things that you choose to invest in, right? I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. I didn't even see that there. But that's definitely it. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment, right? So again, not being so hard on yourself about things that you have had to overcome, not being so judgmental about the experiences that you have had, the lessons that you have had to learn, the connections that you have invested in at one point in time, the people that you were connected to, the choices that you made, right? Not holding yourself to such a shameful standard, but more so acknowledging the lesson and the growth that was in that lesson, right? Clarify balance. There's a position that you're stepping into, a position that, look, the Eight of Wands. There's a position that you're, look, with the Lovers. I felt this Eight of Wands yesterday. I felt this energy yesterday. Again, there's a choice. What's at the bottom? Five of Swords, right? Okay, so you're learning to kind of understand the balance between the conscious and the subconscious, right? Learning how to accept the difference between the known and the unknown. Learning how to kind of accept the fact that you can't always make choices that you only have the answer to, right? Sometimes life will present opportunities in your life where you have no idea where it's going to take you. But you are strongly being encouraged to take that path. And even though everything in your mind, right? This is everything in your mind, right? Because it's like a fear. Everything in your mind is telling you, do I take this? Is this something that I should invest in? Why is this something that I should invest in? You're feeling anxious about making this choice. You're feeling anxious about taking this step forward. You're feeling maybe fearful about a certain change because certain things from your past, certain anxiety, maybe certain memories, maybe certain seasons of depression or sadness or seasons of, I guess, shame and doubt that you had to experience at one time. It's almost as if you are kind of reliving a nightmare mentally before it even has a chance to present itself, right? You're kind of torturing yourself with the thought of what if, because this opportunity is this, there's like, you're standing in front of this door is what I'm picturing. It's almost as if you're standing in front of this giant door, right? But behind this door, it's like you're feeling like the sense, you're feeling the urge, right? You know, like everything behind you is no longer beneficial to you, right? Everything behind you is no longer fulfilling, right? There's nothing left to explore that will bring you a sense of fulfillment. There's nothing left to discover in the world behind you because you already know what to expect, right? You already know what exists within that reality. And so in front of this door you're standing in front of this door, which has a whole new world of opportunities, right? And you feel safe, right? You feel encouraged, right? You feel a strong sense of belief. You feel like there is no other choice but to go behind this door, right? It's you want to go, right? But your feet are not allowing you to move because, again, you're in this like analysis paralysis kind of state where you are just kind of like, again, reliving the nightmare that you may have had to experience in the past, right? Reliving maybe a lesson within your mind, right? You're kind of going through those memories of what if this new world puts me back in the same place. But the difference is, underneath this is the Ten of Pentacles, right? It's a whole new world. It's everything that you have ever asked for. It's everything that you have ever worked towards, right? It's success. It's fulfillment, and it's coming at you fast, and a whole sense of fulfillment, right? Whatever it is that is behind this door is the other part of you, right? It's the other part of you that will make you feel whole. Not as if you are not whole within yourself, but it's like yin and yang energy, right? Yin is completely yin, yang is completely yang, but together they create this duality. They create this flow state of abundance, of equal opportunity, of a wealth of resources, that Ten of Pentacles, right? Where anything is possible, anything that you desire, right? Anything that you could have ever imagined, more than you could have ever imagined, right? It is a consistent flow. It's an overflow of resources. It's an overflow of healthy connections, right? It's an overflow of abundance. But it's almost as if you are kind of stuck in this place where you're not yet moving your feet because you're so fearful, right? You're so stuck in your mind of what if I walk past this door and I'm discovering the same thing over again. But the point is that door is there to open you up to a whole new world, right? So why would you be offered a whole new world just to discover the same one that you just came from, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? What's behind the door is not something that you have ever experienced, right? That energy has been coming through since the 8-8 portal, right? Since the Lion's Gate. Whatever this is that is coming through is nothing like you have ever experienced before. There's nothing to compare it to. And maybe that's why there's so much fear. Maybe that's why there's so much anxiety, right? Because there's no comparison because you've never experienced it before. But in that energy within that is the Ten of Pentacles. There's so much to discover. There's so many new lessons to learn, right? There's so many new feelings to explore. There's so many new adventures to experience, right? There's so many new relationships and bonds to build and explore and to expand, right? To new levels, to new depths, right? Within yourself, within other people, within your mindset, within your career, right? This is a whole new world within a sense of your family, within a sense of your friendships, your career, your mindset, your habits, your cycles, your sense of peace, right? Your sense of harmony, how you gain a sense of wealth, how you gain a sense of security within self, right? So again, there's whatever this is, it's coming in fast, right? It's something that you feel spiritually connected to, right? It's almost as if there is a bond, right? There is, I hate to say, it's not like a soul tie in essence, right? There's something that is connecting you to this new pathway, to this new journey of discovery, right? It's where you're meant to go, right? It's not just it's where you're being led, right? And so you have to trust in yourself that you have learned everything that you needed to learn in your past. And because you have learned those lessons, you won't repeat those same cycles, right? You'll learn new lessons and new ways to new depths, right? But you're not going back to where you came from, right? Because you already learned those lessons. You've already seen what those outcomes look like, right? You've already discovered everything there is to discover within that part of your journey. So there is no going back. There's only moving forward if you choose, right? It's completely up to you, right? It's your choice. But the energy here is endings and new beginnings, right? You cannot go back. That door is closed. That world is crumbled, right? It's in fire and flames, right? You cannot go back there. And if you go back there, it's by choice, not by happenstance, right? This new opportunity that's coming in is not going to take you back to that place, right? You're not going to experience those same feelings. You're not going to experience those same emotions. You're not going to have the same sense of adventures, right? There's going to be newness in every way possible, right? Clarify acceptance. And there's so much balance. It's so funny how there's like so much balance in the energy, right? Yesterday we had the Temperance and we had Alchemy come out, right? And today we have balance in the energy of Libra, the scales, right? Things are balancing out. Things are coming to an even pace, right? Things are evening out. Queen of Pentacles, Five of Cups, right? Accepting the fact that the Hangman, you have learned those lessons. You know how to heal that, right? You know what is going to be required of you in order to avoid this energy, right? To protect yourself from this energy, right? You don't have to harp over things that you have had to let go of, right? There's no more. This is almost a sense of you kind of like nurturing your grief, right? In a sense, right? You kind of, I don't want to say accepting your grief, but in a sense, it's, how can I put this into words? It's almost as if you are coming into this place where you are not allowing yourself to feel so down, but you're allowing yourself to kind of pick yourself up in that stage of grief, because you know that where you came from is nothing compared to where you're going. Where you're going is so vast, right? We had that lush energy yesterday. It's so abundant, right? There's so much to explore within this new sector of your life, right? And so you have to let go of that fear. You have to let go of that self-doubt, and you have to let go of that mindset of overthinking your fears, overthinking your doubts, overthinking the what ifs, right? Because if you question everything, every possibility, then you have already set the tone for what it is that you are getting ready to explore, versus going in with a completely open and free mind and giving yourself the space to explore physically, spiritually, mentally, right? If you explore something mentally before you go in it, then there's nothing new, right? You have already discovered you have already predetermined every discovery that you're going to find, right? And so when you go to seek that new world, that new avenue, that new cycle, right? You're going to find yourself in that space of every possibility that you have already thought about time and time again. Whereas if you allow yourself to go in with an open mind, a clear mind, a free mind, right, where you are accepting to the new experiences, to the new adventures, to the new outcomes, to the new resources, right, to the new cycles, to the new habits, to the new opportunities, then you have more to explore. It's more enjoyable, right, because you have not set the tone before you have already walked into it, right? You can't, and that's it, like you just have to keep that in mind. Clarify service. Justice, Libra, the scales, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Wands, right? What are you committing yourself to? Are you a warrior, or or are you a servant? Do you fight for the things that you want, or do you wait for them to appear to you? Right? Do you go after the things that you want? Do you set the tone for the life that you want to live, or do you allow yourself the space to explore the opportunities that God has placed in front of you, the Most High, right? Where is your spiritual strength, right? How firm is your faith? Are you a child of God? Are you a child of the Most High, right? Or are you fearful that God will put you in a situation that you're afraid to go back to? Where does your trust lie? Does your trust lie within yourself? Does your trust lie within worldly matters? Does your trust lie within the flesh? Or does your trust lie within your faith? That's the duality. That's the balance. You see here, even at the bottom of this Hierophant card, there's two people, the lovers. There's a connection here. There's a bond here, a soul tie between two entities, right? Between the masculine and feminine within yourself. It's possibly a connection within your reality, right? It's also a frequency, right? This can also be, again, the choice that you're making, that like to... maybe you are stepping into a season where you are trying to be more healthy, right? Are you going to trust that everything will be okay, even that the medicines that you are taking are going to take you to a healthier place? Or are you going to actively take control of your own health, right? Are you going to actively make better eating choices? Are you going to actively make better choices for your food, the water that you drink, right? The air that you breathe, right? The environment that you place yourself in to increase your health, right? Are you going to take control of your body, or are you going to let your body take control of you, right? That's just an example. This is going to resonate for each of you differently, right? But this is the duality, your flesh versus your faith, right? The balance of two things. What are you committing to? Are you committing to your faith? Are you committing to the knowing that everything always works out for your highest good? Or are you committing to the fact that sometimes your fears can take you to a place that you can't come back from, right? What are you allowing to take control of your life, right? What are you allowing to be the driver of your life, the driver of your beliefs, right? You have the Nine of Cups here, right? Because so far, you have the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Lovers, the Hierophant, the Justice. Those are all independent energies, right? Where you have kind of reached this space of self-fulfillment, right? You're already in a space of being fulfilled. And it's almost as if, again, this Nine of Wands is like you're trying to protect that peace, right? But the energy is telling you, the frequency is telling you that this new phase is going to double that times 10, right? It's just, are you going to be willing to explore those new opportunities, or are you going to go back to living the life that you have already discovered, right? Where there's nothing new. There's nothing new to explore there, because you already know every outcome possible within that previous world, right? You've already experienced it all. You've done it all, right? You've eaten the bad foods, right? You've laid in bed. You have watched the television, right? You have not exercised, right? And you know where that gets you. So in this new phase, are you going to take control of your health, right? Or are you going to, again, let it take control of you? The choice is yours. But, I mean, there's nothing left for you there. There's nothing left for you there. It's like the door is closing. The wedge of time is the gap is closing between those two frequencies. So there isn't much time to make a choice, right? It's almost as if like the veil is getting thinner and thinner, right, between those two worlds. And if you don't take that leap of faith, then you're just going to fall back into the void of what was. How's the saying go? Study long, study wrong. If you take too long to make a choice, or not making a decision is making a decision. Choosing to not make a choice is a choice. You're choosing to stay in your fear. You're choosing to stay stuck in that Five of Cups, in that lack energy, in that grief, right? Where there's no fulfillment. There's no emotional joy, right? All right, so let's pull 4 cards. 1 card for what we can learn as the major lesson surrounding this message. 1 card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. 1 card for what we can focus on. Meditate and focus on. 1 card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. Sorry. And one card for the new cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion surrounding this message. Let bygones be bygones, right? That's kind of what the frequency is saying here. Let bygones be bygones. Open yourself up to exploring this new world. There's so much being offered here. That's the Ten of Pentacles came out under that fear card, right? It's like being fearful of your own potential. Are you afraid of yourself? Are you afraid of what it is that you have the ability to create? Right? Because with this energy here, it seems like a manifestation. This is something that you have desired. It's something that you have yearned for, right? With this Eight of Wands, it's something that you have, it's like a spiritual yearning being brought into fruition. Something that you have craved and yearned for, right? Something that you have truly wanted. Maybe not within, it's like maybe you have blocked it off within your mind. Maybe you have closed off your heart. But your spirit has wanted a connection to something. Your spirit has been desiring some type of connection to this new beginning, right? And now that this new beginning is right in front of you, it's like, okay, what are you going to do? I'm here. What choice are you going to make? It's like there's like a magnetizing energy. And it feels as if at one point you were kind of trying to pull away from the magnetizing energy. But it's so strong because you're so close to it. Maybe in the past you were able to kind of pull away and distance yourself from what it was that you felt magnetized to it because you were further away. It wasn't as close. But now that you are right in front of it, it's like you can't pull away because the magnet is too strong. You can't pull away. It's also because now you're on that frequency. You're also on the frequency of what it is that you have desired. You're on the frequency of what it is that you have manifested, right? So it's not just a desire anymore, but you are kind of already living within that blessing, right? You were kind of living in that space, but in the wrong environment, right? We kind of talked about that in the message yesterday. It was the seed being planted in the wrong circumstances. And now you're being presented the right environment for you to thrive and for you to grow. What are you going to do with that? How are you going to plant that? What are you going to grow from that seed now that it has the right environment to thrive in? And now that you are, it's almost as if like now that you have put yourself in the frequency of where it is that you're desiring to go, are you going to place yourself in that correct environment, or are you going to remain out of balance in the environment that is no longer conducive to your growth? That's the kind of like duality. There's like, it's like, and it's so like, how can I put it into words? Because the balance between it is like, it's like there's even duality within the balance. I don't know how to put that into words, how I'm sensing it. But even within the balance, even within the frequency of things being brought to an even state, even with things being everything you have asked for, it's still your choice, right? It's still, I'm trying to figure out how to put this into words. One card for what we can learn. Even within the balance, there's still duality within that frequency. So you have worthiness and harvest, right? With mass. Are you going to allow yourself the space to thrive, or are you going to exist within this like imposter syndrome? Are you worthy of of everything that you desire, right? Everything that you have manifested. Are you worthy of the Ten of Pentacles? Are you worthy of new opportunities, new discoveries, new adventures, new life, new love, new experiences, new habits, relationships, cycles, right? Anything you can name, anything you can think of, however it applies to you. Are you worthy of new beginnings? Or are you going to trick yourself out of your spot because you are fearful of the potential that you carry within you? Are you afraid of yourself? Are you afraid of what it is that you have the ability to create, right? Because it's not even potential, right? It's capability. It's what you have already manifested. You have brought yourself to this frequency, right? You have aligned yourself to this new reality. And now that it's here, you're fearful of it. Right? You have aligned yourself to the things that you have desired. You have created this new world for you, right? You have prepared yourself. You have prepared your mind. You prepared your habits, your finances, your friends, but now that the opportunity has presented itself, it's almost as if, well, now I feel like I'm on top here in the past, right? I feel like I'm on top, even though I'm not, right? That's the kind of like duality within the balance, because you feel as if you're already on top within your current reality. But the truth is that world is crashing and burning. There's no growth, right? There's nowhere for you to expand, and you feel fulfilled, right? You feel as if you are surrounded by light because you are the light in the darkness. Right? And so it's almost as if you are willing to exist within that darkness because you are the light within that. And so you feel that sense of warmth. However, if you were to step into that new world, you would see how much more warmth, how much more security, how much more safety, how much more harmony, how much more balance and wealth and abundance is available to you. Right? You will see who you are within that new world, right? You will see what it is that you have to offer by what is being offered to you in that new reality. You have to ask yourself, are you worthy of the things that you have manifested? Are you worthy of the things that you desire in life, right? One card for the opportunities we can create. Self-sabotage. That's that nine of swords. Five of Swords that we saw. Feeling safe. You're feeling safe in that darkness because you are the light, right? You feel safe in that previous world because you have made it to the top with it. It's almost as if you're kind of like, think about if you're like playing the game, right? And you have mastered a certain level. And so instead of going to a new level where you have to learn new lessons, right? You stay at that same level because you know it's easy to beat, right? You know all of the cheat codes, you know all of the moves to make, you know all of the certain paths to take, right? Because you have beaten that level already time and time again, right? And so because you have already mastered that level, that's just it. You're a master at that one level, right? So are you going to remain a master at that one level, or are you going to remain a master of self in every level, right? Are you going to continue to, again, trick yourself out of your own spot? Allow yourself to overthink things that don't even exist, except within your mind, except within your imagination. Right, you're creating scenarios that haven't even presented themselves to you. Don't create scenarios that you have no evidence of. Right? You're diminishing your own self-confidence. You're diminishing your own self-worth by doing that. Self-sabotaging. And it's almost as if you kind of feel safe in that energy because it makes you feel, it gives you more reason to stay where you are, right? You don't have to face your courage in that energy, right? Whereas facing your courage would require a little bit more strength. It would require a little bit more faith, right? A little bit more courage. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. Surrender, let go, rage, of all the things that you feel fearful of. Let go of all of the things, again, how can I put this into words? Again, allowing yourself the space to explore this new reality. Don't feel as if you have to remain in that place of stagnancy because you feel secure in the things that you already know. Surrender to the unknown. Surrender to the things that you don't know. Surrender to the possibility of life, right? Surrender to the new lessons, the new connections, the new relationships, the new bonds, right? The new adventures, right? There's so much more to explore in this new phase. One card for the cycles and habits we can create or innovate. Divine lineage. It's your legacy that's at stake, right? Your legacy is on the chopping block. Are you going to pour into it, right? What kind of legacy are you going to leave, right? Are you going to leave everything that you have to offer on the table, or are you going to surrender to all of the things that you have the ability to create, all of the resources that you have the ability to obtain, all of the opportunities that you have the ability to explore and experience, right? Indulge in. What kind of legacy are you going to leave? 616. Balance, equal give and take to new beginnings. Are you going to give this new phase as much grace as it's willing to give you? Are you going to open this new opportunity are you going to welcome this new opportunity with open arms the same way that it's ready to welcome you? Right? It seems as if this world is waiting for you because you have created it, right? You have called it in, right? You have willed it in. You have yearned for it so much that, again, it's the magnet. The magnet is so strong. This new world is kind of like waiting to embrace you. And the question is, are you going to embrace this new beginning the same way? Are you going to offer these new opportunities and experiences and lessons and connections and relationships the same thing? Are you going to feed this new space the same way it has the ability to feed you, right? Because there's a healing sense. This is that Queen of Pentacles energy where there's like a nurturing, right? This new space is going to offer you so much warmth, so much security, so much safety, right? So much, it's just like a warm hug that you just kind of like melt into. Right? Are you going to offer that same embrace to it as it is willing to give to you? Right? But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Please do not forget to press that like button if you feel that it resonated with you. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.